Hello, this is Aaron Maller from Parallax, and this will be a quick video to just go over getting started with Dynamo and how to check and see if you have all of the prerequisite packages installed in your instance of Dynamo. To start, I'm in Revit 2019 for this particular video, and I've gone to the Manage ribbon and clicked on the Dynamo button, which is going to bring up the Dynamo interface. Once that happens, I'm going to go and open a Dynamo graph that we want to use in our model. In this particular case, I'm just going to open a demonstration graph that we were using previously in this project. Now that the graph is open, it's important to notice that when you're looking at the Dynamo interface, on the bottom left there is what's called add-ons, and you'll see a large list of packages that we have installed in the Parallax team environment that you may not have. You'll see there's a package called Ampersand, Archilab, Bang, Bimorph Nodes, Clockwork, Data Shapes, and so on, all the way down to Wombat. Your computer may not have those there, as those are packages that you can install if there are particular nodes from those packages that you want to use. To install a package, you go to the Packages drop-down of Dynamo and you click on Search for a package. For instance, if somebody tells you to use Clockwork, you can search for Clockwork in the Package Manager. When you find Clockwork, you'll see there are multiple versions of it, and which one you install will depend on which version of Dynamo you're using. You can click the Download or Install Latest Version arrow, and that will download and install Clockwork so that it should show up in the library on the left side of your Dynamo interface. When you open a Dynamo graph, if you see a red bar diagonally across any of the nodes that say unresolved, it means the graph is not going to work properly. It means the graph is fundamentally broken and pieces of the graph are not there. One of the standards we use internally at Parallax is that where there are custom nodes, we do put notes above them to let you know that there is a particular package you have to have installed. And most of the time, we also list all of the packages at the top of the graph to let potential users know that there may be multiple packages they need to install. If there is more than just Clockwork in a graph, for instance, you may see 2 or 3 different entries in that note. Again, it's important to note if you see red bars across any of the nodes and they say unresolved, the graph is 100% not going to work correctly until you have that resolved. If we go back to the graph in question, you'll see here that there are 2 different packages that you have to have installed. There is one called Lunchbox and there is one called Archilab. You can see on our screen here that Archilab is installed and Lunchbox is also installed if you scroll down. If you don't have those 2 packages installed, this graph is not going to run correctly at all. Lunchbox is a little more complicated because if you go to the search for a package and you search for Lunchbox, you will see a note that due to persistent package manager issues, it no longer is installed by downloading using this button here. It will give you instructions on how to install it, and you will have to do that unless you want to make edits to the graph so that it doesn't rely on Lunchbox. This is pretty standard for working with Dynamo graphs and dealing with the package manager. It's also important to note that installing a package on your machine doesn't automatically install it for anybody else in your office, and they will need to do the same thing as well.